Hello, dear friends. Eternal wisdom tells us that in times like this, it's not a good idea to stay too close to the fun, according to Dog Poet. Opinion piece: Clash of Titans, Epic Battle, Let Time Go, Silver Horizon, Truth Will Erupt, Transition State, Let the Sun Shine, It's Strange Time, Behind Closed Doors, Controlled Demolition, The Era of Denial Ends, From Darkness to Light, The Greatest Show on Earth. Let's start. A Clash of the Titans is an intense and colossal confrontation between two great forces, entities, groups, or individuals with comparable power. It refers to any extraordinary and dramatic conflict between actors who seem titanic in their strength or influence. This idea comes from Greek mythology, an epic and decisive battle between the Olympian gods led by Zeus and the Titans, the previous generation of deities called Titanomachi. There is a war of the Titans to plunge humanity into the end times, according to the Cosmic Convergence Research Group. At the end of each Kali Yuga, the curtain falls in the same way. When darkness reaches its peak before the dawn of the Golden Age, the villains know they are about to be ousted from the planetary stage. However, the dark side has enjoyed the advantages of an extraordinary amount of ill-gotten wealth and stolen power for over 5,000 years, and the worst of them refuse to leave the stage. They are so addicted to money that they worship only the god Mammon. In short, it's time to grab your popcorn, choose your favorite chair, put your feet up, and prepare to watch the greatest show on earth. Transition. We are in the transition phase, a hybrid war between classical and quantum systems. Make no mistake, this is not 10 years away. It's already here. The technology is ready. The banks have joined in. They are changing security protocols. They are not planning for quantum technology but rushing to control it. A struggle has begun. From bombs to warplanes, from copper mines to cyber attacks, global power is shifting from governments to algorithms. The world is showing signs of war. It has already shifted beneath our feet. Autonomous systems, AI-managed infrastructure, and bond-backed stablecoins are becoming the new control mechanisms for travel and finance. The world is shifting from darkness to light. According to JFK Jr., the world is on the verge of a biblical event. This isn't a speculation. It's an operation decades in the making. It's the greatest psychological operation of all time. Everything is prearranged. Awaken the ship, protect the sovereigntists, and eliminate the cabal is one final blow. The Starlink satellites are armed and ready. This is the quantum backbone, built for one purpose: to erase the old system. When communications are disrupted, the lies will end. When the EBS starts, truth will explode worldwide. 99.5% of cryptocurrencies will disappear, and only gold-backed ISO 20022 currencies will survive. Let go of time. The first key is to let go of time, according to Pamela Gripe. You often put pressure on yourself because you feel you must achieve spiritual or other goals within a certain time frame. But this is a very human thought, and as you get closer to your soul, time loses its significance and tends to evaporate. According to Steve Biko, Jesus referred to this time as the time of salvation, redemption, or resurrection. Missionaries of light call it ascension. Everything that is not destined to raise the frequency by any means available will live. Eventually, we will have peace throughout the world. But first, we must emerge from this age of darkness we have been in, and we are doing so right now. The theater we are watching is to awaken the world to its danger. However, nothing can stop what is coming. Reset news. Dark side players are fighting back using Antifa. According to Juan Usabi, panic is in the air, and when the bad guys are scared, they attack. According to Paul White Gold Eagle, President Trump has ordered his coalition to begin dark side arrests worldwide, which will trigger the EBS. FBI Director Kash Patel accused Christopher Wray of violating FBI protocol by deploying 274 plainclothes agents on January 6, 2021, under the guise of crowd control. A video shows many of those agents creating chaos and breaking into the Capitol, later blaming peaceful protesters. On Wednesday, January 29, 2025, an open letter was published to President Trump and Congress asking them to recognize the sovereign nation of the Kingdom of Hawaii. They have 170,000 metric tons of gold stored in the Bank of Hawaii that cannot be used by any government entity until the kingdom is returned to its people. The request was accompanied by a plea for assistance for the more than 3,000 victims of the Kula and Lahaina fires on Maui in 2023, as many of them remain homeless and live on the beaches. The Congressional Reform Act removes members of Congress from their permanent salary, as well as premium health insurance and premium retirement. Each member of Congress will receive a salary while in office, but will not receive severance pay upon leaving office. All funds in the Congressional Retirement Fund are transferred to the Social Security system. Congress must purchase its own retirement plan, just as all citizens do. Congress will no longer be able to raise its own pay. Congress loses its current health care system and participates in the same health care systems as the people. Serving in Congress should be a honor and a privilege, not a political career. Summon. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth has summoned more than 800 generals and admirals to plan special operations just before the government shutdown on Wednesday, October 1st. They have been summoned to Quantico, Virginia, a center for military intelligence, special operations, and psychological warfare planning. The meeting coincides with the federal shutdown. The real reason the top brass were called to Quantico on Tuesday is to prepare for the trials against members of the dark side for treason. It is also to confirm their loyalty when a state of emergency and martial law are declared. The meeting would be the calm before the storm. There will be no leaks. By the time the public knows what has been decided, it will already be underway. The generals reporting to Quantico have already taken sides. Stay alert. Be prepared. The storm is here. Why now? The meeting coincides with the federal shutdown. Perfect coverage. Civilian oversight is frozen. The media is distracted. The uniformed officers are free to act quietly. This is consolidation before a national reset. This October shutdown isn't a crisis. It's an opportunity. It's the silent machinery of a federal realignment already underway. The old government is being bled dry, and the patch is just beginning. According to Ezra Cohen, the looming October shutdown isn't just another budget impasse. The Office of Management and Budget has already distributed directives transforming a temporary lapse into a permanent patch. This isn't a contingency plan, but a structural war. Agencies are being told to prepare layoff lists as soon as discretionary funds run out. Once the lights go out, many positions will never be filled again. Memorandum. Trump signed a presidential memorandum on Homeland Security that lays out a comprehensive strategy to investigate, disrupt, and dismantle all states of organized political violence. Its target is a network of fake charities, media fronts, legitimate activist groups, and foreign-funded operatives. Watch for the signs: sudden resignations, unusual troop movements near cities, banking disruptions, brief blackouts, media outlets spreading alarming stories about domestic extremism. If you see these signs, the next phase is already underway. What is likely to come next? Final verification of readiness for activation of the emergency transition system, locking down the chain of command against future disruptions, implementing the transition to the QFS, and counterintelligence measures against domestic and foreign infiltrators. Trump-Sara. President Trump also ensured that the quantum Gisara, also known as the Trump-Sara, was in place. He matched quantum technology with the 1955 price reset, where inflation is brought down, debt is eliminated, and life is once again affordable. The basis of Gisara is the return of taxes paid, reparations for illegal foreclosures, and justice for the Saint Germain Trust. Starting September 25, 2025, Trump activated the quantum financial system, the global financial reset, just before the total banking and market collapse expected in mid-October. Early adopters, retired military personnel, and Level 3 humanitarian operators were already seeing live transactions. Gisara guarantees debt forgiveness, asset redistribution, and the dismantling of centralized banking structures. The quantum internet is replacing legacy systems and patching the influence of mainstream media. The 10 days of darkness would be followed by a 3-day blockchain quantum election where governments around the world would be restructured and the new leadership reduced by 90%. Silver. Under the classified operation Silver Horizon, special forces have launched precision raids to recover silver reserves hidden by elite banking cartels and syndicates. What they have discovered is astonishing and historic. This is no longer a theory. It is a controlled demolition of the old system. The storm has a silver side, and it's already here. This is not just a financial shift. It is a civilizational correction. They are building it behind closed doors, and it is almost finished. While the media inundates you with distractions, banks, governments, and big tech have declared war on the current system. They are not testing quantum technology, but putting it into practice, quietly but aggressively. South Korea signs an agreement to apply quantum computing to finance. The UK is investing $159 million in quantum crime detection. Abu Dhabi is investing billions in a quantum research center to dominate finance in the Middle East. Microsoft's Majorana 1 chip is a ticking time bomb for blockchain. It threatens to crack cryptocurrency wallets worldwide. Banks like JP Morgan and HSBC are betting on quantum technology to optimize portfolios and protect assets. HSBC is encrypting gold and currency transactions by distributing quantum keys. Quantum computing is not only enabling a new system, it is exposing the old one. Blockchain is on the brink of collapse. D-Wave's new quantum blockchain makes traditional currencies look like fossils. The Shor algorithm could wipe out all unprotected wallets in one fell swoop. Health. Fox News announced that the first medbed hospitals would open in January 2026, staffed by top doctors. The quantum order, according to Charlie Ward, is now available. On September 7, 2025, President Trump signed the Quantum Restorative Health System Directive, authorizing the deployment of medbeds and the declassification of more than 60 healing patents. In 1931, German scientist Dr. Otto Warburg received the Nobel Prize for discovering that cells can regenerate when exposed to adequate levels of oxygen and frequency. By 1933, his institute began experimenting with electromagnetic resonance therapy, which, when combined with oxygen, triggered the regeneration of damaged tissue. But by 1936, the project was silenced and funding was cut. The documents disappeared. The investigators were reassigned or retired. RFK Jr. has created a federal task force to dismantle chemtrail operations worldwide. Armed with full legal powers, a Skywatch operation will expose the spring, arrest those involved, and prosecute them for environmental damage. The era of denial is over. This is Nuremberg 2.0, and it's happening now. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.